Hey guys, it's time for another pawn shop pickups, and this is a massive haul. This is 2 to 3 weeks of pawn shop pickups. I've hit a pawn shop every couple days, find something new, and stay tuned to the end of this. You're not gonna believe the box sets I picked up for a piece. I'm shocked. I'm still in awe of this. And being a wrestling fan, you're going to enjoy this. Well, let's start it off. Now, one of the things I picked up at one pawn shop, and I've got this on DVD, but I want the Blu-ray version. I don't know why, and it was cheap enough. The guy, said, "Hey, you buy off us a lot. Go ahead and get it." So I picked up National Lampoon's Vacation, which I really don't like this cover. The DVD cover is better than this cover. But hey, it's the 30th anniversary Blu-ray. Pick it up. Be nice for the Blu-ray. Another one I picked up is Sheena with Tanya Roberts from the 80s. And yeah, she has some nudity in this. Oh yeah. The late Tanya Roberts played Sheena, the Jungle Woman. Oh yeah. Part animal, part legend, all woman. Now, speaking of classic 90s fighting movies, it's time for some Mortal Kombat. It has begun. I love that. That was one thing missing from the new Mortal Kombat. Somebody yelling out, "It has begun!" And the movie's cheesy. The first one is cheesy as all hell, but it's a classic for that. Now, another movie I picked up, and this one is a 90s movie, which really isn't that good, and it's become a running joke. It became a joke on South Park. But Anna Faris is in this, and oh my God, man, she was hot back. She's still hot. I mean, but this is her in this one. This is the hot chick, and I like this with Rob Schneider. They switch bodies, and it's really a nice, it's a weird switch bodies comedy, and it's pretty funny. Now, in the 80s, a romantic comedy I've been looking for with a good disc to it stars Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. The two have been they're basically common law married. They've been together almost 40 years. They live together. They're probably one of the longest lasting husband and wife couples, and you see the love that they have for each other. And I like when she appeared as Mrs. Claus at the end, and it made sense that she would be in that Christmas movie with him as Mr. Claus. But in 1987, they teamed up for Overboard, which this movie probably would not be made a lot today for what it done. She gets amnesia. She's a rich, arrogant woman. She's spiteful, snobbish. She cheats the contractor Dean, played by Kurt Russell, out of money. And she has amnesia, so he tricks her into basically acting like being his wife. She ain't, they don't have, he don't mean to fall in love with her, and eventually he does, and she becomes, she realizes she's that's what's missing in her life, was having a family, and actually that was the important thing instead of money and greed, and it's really nice. I like that. Roddy McDowell's in this one, and he plays the kind butler, and he really likes her where she changes. Now, this movie is one of my favorite from the 90s. It's a favorite 90s comedy, and I'm pretty sure Eddie knows. It's Friday. You ain't got nothing to do. Gonna get you high today. It's Friday. They made 2 other sequels to this movie, and without Chris Tucker, it just didn't really flow right. And he was trying to get the 4th Friday movie made. And with John Witherspoon's death, it's not going to happen. Because, without Pops in this movie, I think his name is Pops, it just don't flow right, But the first one is a classic. And finally, I picked up, now this is when these were all $1 a piece. Even I'm shocked. My mom wanted this one. She said she's been looking for the last season of The Big Bang Theory, the final season, 12 seasons of it. And The Big Bang Theory, to me, the first 4 to 5 seasons are probably the best run of the show. To me, things really got better. They expanded the sitcom. It wouldn't have had much life. If you keep 4 people locked in, and I've ticked people off with this view, I'm pretty sure, you tick, you lock these characters into no lives and just say, oh man, it should just be about geek stuff, and there shouldn't be relationships, and they shouldn't grow and change, and life is about some changes at times, and they still was nerdy guys. And one funny thing was somebody was saying they're outsiders, and I was like, they're not, because they're married, except Raj at the end. They're all married. They're having kids and families, and I like that aspect. I mean, I follow a lot of sitcoms, and if change should happen, not all at once, but gradually, like The Big Bang Theory did. Now, let's get to the wrestling part of this. And oh my God, I picked up 5 big box sets of wrestling. I got WWE's Greatest Matches, a 3-disc set. All 3 discs are in there. Yeah, this is awesome. This is awesome. Look at this. I don't know why Nexus is part of this. Their faction wasn't really that good after it started. But yeah. I got the top 50 superstars of all time. This is nice. Look at that. Look at that cover. Awesome. Oh. I got the rise and fall of WCW. Yeah. Look at that. Goldberg, Hollywood Hogan, Sting. I watched this back on WWE Network, but having this, owning it, is really nice. And like I said earlier, WWE is going to start not putting out DVD sets, so it's best to go ahead and buy them if you're a fan. I got the 50th year history of the WWE. This was nice. That was nice. And I got old Stone Cold Steve Austin, 4-disc set. 4-disc set of Stone Cold, baby. They had another set, and it was a 3-disc set. And one of the discs wasn't in perfect shape, but I probably could have got it for $1 if I thought about it. Maybe I'll go back and get it, but yeah, I think this is nice. 4-disc set. Look at Stone Cold's eyes. Look at those eyes. DTA, don't trust anybody. And I got more at home I've got to show, and just stay tuned, and we're going to get on over to that right now. And this is a kind of unique volume because a lot of this I forgot. I got so busy a good much of this I meant to show in the video of the ECW fan vlog around town. I meant to put that at the end of the video, but I was crunched for time, put this stuff up and forgot all about it. So a good bit of this come from that, come from the day before. I made some trades. I picked up movies. I traded them. I went to a thrift shop. I traded, movies at a pawn shop. It's kind of unique what I was able to do. I made some stuff work. And I'm going to go ahead and show some of these off. And I'm going to go ahead and start off with the game. And this came from a pawn shop. I actually picked up a couple other games. And I traded those games because there was like a couple big heavy hitters that they had. And they was cheap. I traded those for Spider-Man PlayStation 5. So I did pretty good. But for now, the only one I kept, and I knew I wasn't going to get much out of it, for the PlayStation 3 collection, I picked up the Smurfs 2. Yeah, the Smurfs. Time to get Smurfy. Yeah. That's the only one I kept. The other one's Alice Madness Returns. One of the... I picked up Saints Row the third and Saints Row the fourth. I picked up, I think can't remember. I'm trying to think what it was. I picked it up. I took them all into GameStop and made a trade. And pretty good trade. I was able to get this Spider-Man game, the new one with Miles Morales, and then to launch the big edition with Spider-Man. That was what I was wanting to get. My cousin Vinny, and I love good comedies. And in the '90s, My Cousin Vinny was probably one of the best comedies with Joe Pesci and Marissa Tomei. And I love when she's like smacking the ground. She's like, my biological clock keeps tick. And it was really a good comedy. I love Fred Gwynn in this. It's really one of the best '90s comedies. Now, speaking of the 2000s, and this movie is not really a good horror film, but I needed it for my George Romero collection. I picked up Survival of the Dead back in early spring. Well, I finally found at a pawn shop Diary of the Dead. I finally found Diary of the Dead. I think it's a found footage film. It's not really that good. I think Romero's best films was Day of the Dead and Dawn of the Dead. I think those were his best films, and by the end he was just pushing, trying to find that right formula. And one of these, I've always heard the story that he had this big epic planned, and it was going to cost, I think the Day of the Dead was supposed to be this big epic, and he never got to shoot it like he wanted to. And the script is like 200 and some pages, and I'm shocked that nobody has tried to make that into a movie, or a TV series, and actually shoot it right, and not make it a comedy, not make it something lame and stupid. Just shoot it the way George Romero wanted it. I know you could do it now. They've got everything, but it's like they just want to make things stupid now. They just want to make it silly and lame, and I don't think we'll ever get that. Now, speaking of comedies, again, I'm a big comedy fan, and in the '90s, another big comedy that I loved was Grosse Point Blank with John Cusack. And John Cusack was one of the best actors, I feel. He's one of the best. He had a bunch of films: High Fidelity, Grosse Point Blank, there's the Jack Bull. Really good actor. And Grosse Point Blank is probably one of the best comedies he done. And he plays a hitman that goes back after 10 years to his high school reunion. 10 or 15 years. I think it's 10. Yeah, it's 10 years. Welcome class of 86. So he goes back, and it's just funny, the whole thing, because he's an assassin, and he's just trying to reconnect and find his humanity. Now, another film I picked up, and this goes with the RoboCop. I've got it on Blu-ray, RoboCop movies. This is RoboCop 2. Not as good as RoboCop 1. RoboCop 1 was a gritty, edgy film, hard R-rated. RoboCop 2 tried to lessen that. They tried to, we've got to appeal to kids now. We've got to try to get more people into the theater. And then whenever they do that, it lost, its flavor. It's not as bad as RoboCop 3. RoboCop 2 is just not as good as RoboCop 1. But I needed to get it for my series. Now, as far as sitcoms go, there's quite a few that I like. I like Seinfeld, My Name is Earl, MASH, Sanford and Son. And in the '90s, there was a short 5-season sitcom that could have probably ran longer. And it was called News Radio. News Radio was a brilliant show. Dave works with a bunch of egocentric people. It's like every show has these egocentric people. Night Court had it. Cheers has it at times. And News Radio was no different. You had Joe, Matthew. You had Jay. I can't think of his name. Is it JJ? He was the owner. The owner was his own eccentric guy. He was just silly, man. He would just show up and just hang out with these people. And he liked them because he was a rich owner. Just didn't care. But the show was brilliant. And Phil Hartman was one of the key guys with it. Well, Phil Hartman was like the glue. And all of a sudden, Phil Hartman was murdered, you know. And it was a sad deal. I mean, he shot a lot of good movies. He shot House Guests. He was really a nice, actor. And on SNL, he was brilliant, and on this, he was great. And they renewed the show for a fifth season. Just, because NBC was like, let's bring it back. Let's let John Lovitz come in. And Lovitz done it just for Phil Hartnell. And Lovitz played Max Lewis, and it just didn't work, It just didn't, he tried. And the show ended after those 5 seasons. It's sad, Okay, I'm back. Camera cut, screwed up. Anyhow, moving on, at the pawn shop, I picked up a wrestling DVD. And I'm pretty sure this had a slipcase that went over it. But for $1, I'm not going to complain. Now, back about a month ago, Triple H retired. Triple H announced his retirement. He was ending his career because of a heart condition that he had. He almost died. So it's understandable that, he has to retire because I think he got a pacemaker or defibrillator in his chest. So, it's understandable. And back to horror, I picked up The Fright Night 2 New Blood. And this comes right after The Fright Night, the one that Eddie doesn't like. The grand edition with, I can't think of his name. Will Ferrell. Or, no, God, Colin Farrell. That's going to be funny. Will Ferrell's. But yeah, Colin Farrell played Jerry, I think Jerry Dandridge, I believe that was his name. And yeah, Eddie's not a fan of it. I only like it because David Tennant played a very different Peter Vincent. He played his more as a superstar, like edgy superstar that's, near like a Chris Angel type. But this is the sequel. I've never watched it, and it looks kind of unique. I can't wait to watch it. Eddie probably seen it. Now I picked this one up because this is on this, and now everybody knows the Poseidon Adventure. It's been redone so many times, and the one edition just with Kurt Russell bombed. And I think I showed that off sometime. But this has got the triangle and 2103. Don't ask me what year 2103. The Deadly. The Wave. It's like they got it's got Malcolm McDowell in it. Don't ask me. I don't know what the triangle is about. Now, other disaster films, and this is a classic, is from in the 90s. There was 2 volcano movies that come out. 2 movies about volcanoes. And one of them was called Dante's Peak, and that had Pierce Bronson in it. And the other one starred Tommy Lee Jones and Anne Heche. Tommy Lee Jones is in this one. This is Volcano. I got to get Dante's Peak. Yeah, volcano movies. It's like Hollywood just copies each other. Now, I love... Okay, I'm back. The phone froze again. Just trying to shoot this video is just screwing up. But now, one of the things I like is music movies. And in the 1970s, Martin Scorsese directed one of the best ones that's ever been made. It's called The Last Waltz. And it has the rock group, the band. Now, the band played with Bob Dylan and really established themselves as a premier act. We'll probably never see them again because I think 1 or 2 of the members have passed away since then. And this movie has Bob Dylan, Eric Clapton, Joni Mitchell, Emmylou Harris, Neil Diamond, Ringo Starr, Ron Wood, Bob Dylan, Neil Young. It's got all these artists on it, and I can't wait to watch it. It's a nice. It's probably one of the best rock movies that's ever been made. It's their last concert, and they made it into a movie, and it's kind of nice to find in a pawn shop. And like I said, a bunch of these I got for free because I made a trade-in, a key trade-in, and that was kind of cool. In the vlog video I shot back in April around town, I detailed I had 2 movies that I didn't really feel like it was brand new. And as much as, I liked the movies, I felt like I could find something I really wanted in my collection, movie wise. These brand new, uh, I took them over to Cheap Thrills, got some good store credit, and I actually cleared this movie. It's Tommy Boy and Black Sheep, 2 classic Chris Farley movies, 2 great comedies, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get both of them. I'm gonna clear it and get both of them. As much as I like Hero and Borat, I can get those movies elsewhere. Borat especially. Borat I can find somewhere. But Black Sheep and Tommy Boy, I've not really found them ever together, so that's kind of nice. And that's the pawn shop pickups. A lot of these came in May. A lot of these I cleared, basically, like I said, when I got that DVD set, season 7 Prank Acres. They said, yeah, go ahead, get you 6 or 7 movies. I actually picked up 7, and they gave me 6 of them. So I was rocking, I picked up good. I did good, and I made some other trades. I had some other movies, so it was pretty good, pretty good. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I want to thank you for watching and supporting the channel. Till next time, thanks for watching, and just hit your pawn shops, buddy. Hit your pawn shops.